do. For a moment there, I thought the game had crashed and it was about to be like, mother fricker, why would you do this to me? Hello, everybody. For real this time. Oh my god. Pain, agony, suffering. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff that happened last week. I genuinely apologize for the horribleness that was that stream. That was just an absolute mess. Quite literally, that is the hardest I think this game has ever crashed for me personally, and I have no idea how. Because I've even played some modded versions of this game that have crashed way lighter than that, and yeah, I genuinely just don't understand what was happening still to this day. Just no clue. But for one thing I do know for certain, I am watching my feet when I walk through here. That crash is both terrifying and saved my life. I was showcasing to my server. Somehow I duplicated water, apparently, and this water bucket just was placed. Like, yeah, so we're gonna do that just because I didn't do that, and then I'm gonna put it right back because I still want to work down there today. But I wanted to actually talk about the whole dumb peanut butter stream and what I actually did after the peanut butter stream, because god, that was a hilarious stream, and I hope you all found it funny, at least somewhat, because I know I did, and I thought it was very, very stupid. But yeah, so that last stream we went through and we made both the melon and pumpkin farm, and we made the sugarcane farm, where all of that stuff is going to be, you know, loading into. What this means is we're also one step closer to being able to unload the tree farm into here just all outright, and I mean like everything. I can now at least unload the melons and pumpkins. We've got to get a lathe before I'm ready to unload all of the other stuff, because all of the other stuff that's there that's really scary is basically, well, the arrows are one of the problems. But the next problem is more the, what's it called? All the armor and the bows and stuff. Like, that's the stuff that's really scary. So, having all this in, that makes me happy. I'm glad to see that this is working very well. There is one thing that I wanted to showcase to you guys, though, that I'm not sure if I showed you between, or with the last stream. So I was having a bit of some issues with item counts, as we all know. And I was 90% sure certain items were despawning, somewhere in the whole, like, subset of everything. So I have made a, well, hilarious little launcher system that collects and grabs items, and refreshes their timer, like you're about to see right there. So every item that comes over here is an item that has been in the system for too long, effectively. And you'll notice that in this set of items, we're getting items that I don't even have sorted yet. Like, for instance, rotten flesh is coming through. So, effectively, right now, anything can go into the system. It'll be fine. It'll get refreshed and it'll stay in the system permanently. I don't want to overload it too much with items that I don't have sorting for. Because if I do, that means that items that aren't, well, being sorted for are overflowing this thing, and it's going to affect the capabilities of this. But in large bulk, this thing can handle everything that the Great Bridge throws at it. Easy. Perfectly fine, especially because the Great Bridge does 5 stacks at a time. So whatever doesn't get sorted through ends up in here, perfectly filters into there. If not, it loads up into that hopper or those two hoppers, and everything works out great. We have no issues, no worries, no problems. It just unloads into that dispenser and becomes one item that slowly filters out. This does kind of mean that installing one of these systems does slow the sorting of this down a lot, but on the other hand, it also means that, like, technically after this, every single thing I put in only needs to be a 1 layer, meaning I could really put extra sorting up there if I wanted to, and extra sorting for all the other lines. It's a unique little system that effectively shorthands a lot of the problems, but I don't know of its qualities and its qualifications just yet. But the funny thing is I've been working on this type of system right here in particular for a very long time as a sort of, hey, I need one of these for this type of system, because the thing is with the collection, there's too many items in the game to bulk collect everything easily, and showcase everything within an item's despawn rate. Like, it's not possible to get items past thousands of blocks fast enough. So this has always been a system I've been working on, and I randomly stumbled into this while I was making it, and I really just kind of wanted to showcase it to you guys. It quite literally is just a dispenser, hopper minecart, 2 hoppers, another hopper, and there's an observer chain in there right under there, I believe, that basically powers the entire thing. Yep, right there. And that's it. That's the entire system, and despite being noisy, this is one of the best ones of these I've ever made, and I made it entirely on accident. Like, this entire thing, accidental, not intentional, did not mean to end up with a thing that basically runs the entire system of everything for me, and now I've got something that effectively can control every item in the game for me. So from here on out, I'm only going to build single slices for every single item, no matter what. And I wanted to explain that before the hilariousness of last stream, but it just turned out not to be something that was going to be able to happen because, well, we had last stream happen. So, yeah, no. I wanted to at least showcase to you what I've been doing, how I've been working. The fact of the matter is this is genuinely, like, good tech for us to have in our pocket, because it's something that I'm going to use also as a way to get us between floors, and it'll refresh item timers and everything. But, yeah, no, it's amazing how well this little system works. The Soul Sand launcher thing there was something I came up with just to make sure that it goes into the hopper minecart outside of the water stream, because I didn't want the water stream to be intersecting with the hopper minecart stuff, and ta-da, it just worked. So, yeah, no. Last stream, I would have explained all that, but literally within the first 2 seconds of stream, we fell down one of these wonderful pain holes, and I cried a lot mentally. Yeah, last stream was just, I don't even really want to talk about last stream and how bad it was, but today is a good day because now things are fine, things are happy. The only slight annoyance I will admit is as you get over here, you hear the ticking. It's most impressive here, but nobody's going to stand here or stand here for that matter. So, I'm not too worried about it. There is just a slight ticking noise in this corner, and everybody will be slightly confused by it. So, yeah. Let me remind myself, we need acacia stairs, that's right. We need ladders, we need our bamboo, We need more hoppers, more, what's the word I'm after? More chests, and we need some carpets for the ones that we haven't carpeted. And then everything will be happy, fine, and hunky-dory. So yeah, let's get to work on that. I will say another thing I'm really wanting to work on soon is a food farm. The irony is technically, as I showcased in the potato episode, the what's it called? The peanut butter episode. We technically have the ability to farm pumpkin pie now. And I just thought it'd be absolutely hilarious if that is legitimately to become my food of choice, because it's unintentionally a very easy to set up farm. But I feel like it's something that goes on the tier 1 level just because it uses the sugar cane. Well, technically it goes on the tier 2 level because you need sugar from it. But it goes from sugar cane to sugar with the eggs and with the pumpkins. And we've got everything in total that we need, technically. So, I figure pretty soon we might want to work on something along those lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't I have it? Yeah, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then one below. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boop, boop. And boop. And hang on. I would like to swim out, please. There we go. I could have looked at that one too, which, you know what, now that I've seen that, I'm just like, look, shush, I'm not an idiot. Also, I did not need to do that. Shush, I'm not an idiot. I assure you I have some smartness in my brain since the peanut butter episode. God, that freaking peanut butter stream was just, it was a combination, perfect storm of a mess and absolutely everything going wrong. I know to you guys that stream did not look like it went wrong. Things started going wrong after 20 minutes in that stream when I finished everything that I had intended to initially get done in that stream and then had to panic to figure out what I wanted to do. Hello, Jivmwill. Hello there. How are you? Welcome. Where I threw away my bucket. I'm dumb. I'm stupid. Take my second bucket and bucket. There we go. I want that bucket there because that way I can at least, you know, sit in a better spot. But yes, hello, Jivmill, if that even is your real name. I don't know how you would pronounce that. What? Stop that. Stop that. We're working on the on all the stuff that I didn't get to do during my April Fool's stream that I did well, on April Fool's. Ah, okay, fair enough. Jivmwheel. Fair enough, fair enough. But no, having fun since that stream. Just, oh god, everything that has happened since then. Oh boy, howdy. The pain and the agony of just But yeah, no, that I want everybody to know that the first 20 minutes of that stream went perfectly normal. Everything was scripted and fine. Everything went happy. And then I finished the farm way too quickly, and I immediately started to panic because I was like, I'm going to have to do unsafe stuff while I can't respond normally, and my brain is going to break and stop saying peanut butter. And I know that I had some fails in that stream. I'm sure some people will point it out to me afterwards. I haven't had anybody point them out to me yet, but I know for certain there were some fails of me saying just peanut butter for that entire stream. It was stupid. I thought it was hilarious, but I do know that it wasn't technically a perfect peanut butter stream. So, yeah, no. I think in the future, if it happens again, where I get the opportunity to do one of those peanut butter streams type things, oh, I'm totally gonna do it. That was genuinely one of my favorite streams I've ever gotten to do, and I adored the stream so much. So, I hope you all liked that stream, as stupid as it was. But now back to actually today's things. Yeah. The chaos of everything that we need to do. Luckily there isn't too much. I am still in the boat of, yeah, let's figure out what type of food farm we want to get working on. Because as funny as it is that my iron farm is also unintentionally a carrot farm, I'm not happy with that being truly what it is. And alright, well, thank you, Jivwill. Enjoy the rest of your day. But yes, thank you for coming and joining for a little bit. It was nice to see you. But no, we do need to start thinking about quite legitimately what type of food farm I would like to do. And the chicken farm, as much as it exists, I'm a bit annoyed with it because I'm pretty sure I'm running into something that is like a technical truth of the game, where ever since they did a fix to the old chicken farms, they made it so that cooked chicken doesn't really happen from those things, and I'm kind of upset because, yeah, we're never going to get cooked chicken through here, so I need to figure out a new cooked chicken farm, and part of me is genuinely thinking just making a farm that drowns them instead. As horrid as that is, and turning it into raw chicken, which then later down the line we get cooked when we're working on the factory. That does then lead to the next part of this, the factory, and we're getting really close to the factory. I keep saying that, and I know people are probably getting to a point where they're like, okay, he keeps saying that we're getting close to the factory, but how close is close? To me, here's the thing. I still feel like I'm in a very early part of the game, actually. Which is funny because I've done the Nether, I've done everything other than, like, the end related stuff. And I know to a lot of people that means that, like, oh, I'm at, like, the end game of Minecraft. I just need to go through with it, you know? Like, I need to go do all the end game stuff, and once I have, then, okay, now I'm doing, like, post-game stuff, basically. I have never personally thought of Minecraft like that. In my opinion, endgame is effectively when I can just sit through and build anything I would like, just whenever I would like. And in my opinion, I'd say I'm very early into the mid-game with that definition. And all that means is, like, there's plenty I can craft, there's plenty I can use, but I'm not yet at the point where I'd say I can do anything and everything I want to, just at a whim, basically. And that's the difference between had a flashback to the peanut butter, or to the initial fixing the peanut butter. Okay, there we go. And I believe, yep, right there. I'm like, I believe right here is my setup spot for this, but yeah, no. So there we go. With that, all of this will now be fixed. We've got this. I will eventually set this up. The only reason I haven't yet is the only reason I don't want to immediately is because I don't really have, well, I could go through and, I don't want to set up the whole torches dropper. Let's just set up the torches collection. Yeah, I can do that. I'll make up the hoppers in a minute. So I'm not too worried about it, but we're reaching that part where I say I personally am in, like, the mid-game of Minecraft, is what I want to say. And that means that, in my opinion, the factory is also what is the transition between mid and end game, because it's going to be something that effectively just continuously works. I've been starting to work on how I want it to work, and I'm thinking I'm going to more sushi belt it rather than have the factory request items. I know very early on I was making the statement we should have the factory request its items rather than just, you know, run kind of based off of whatever I want to throw in. The reason I disagree with that statement now is because the amount of logistics that go behind that is something that I don't think I've planned well enough for. I forgot that the iron goes directly into... This is proof I haven't focused enough on this recently. I forgot that the iron straight up goes into our iron spot now, and that I don't have to throw it somewhere to get it to go in. Yeah. The amount, there was a word I was saying that I forgot. But, the factory is going to effectively be that transition from from the mid-game to the late game for me. And the reason that I want to go through and more do sushi belt style is because, well, I think if I do it that way, I'm going to end up decluttering a lot of big items. And furthermore, it means that items such as, say, oh, I don't know, the acacia wood that we gather so much of can basically go out in bulk through a hopper minecart, and that'll be our way that we work on it. So what I'll do is I'll basically have a hopper minecart that loads up under each one of these with the items that you send in. Once it's at 5, it'll hold on to it for a while until, like, this starts to fill up massively, and then it'll send off, because if that is getting full, then it should have the stuff needed to replace all of that. Meaning that, hey, you know, effectively we're building an overflow. That hopper minecart will immediately go break itself and then be returned to the system in a way that is effectively just to deposit items and swap. So we're going to be building a modified minecart breaker for each one of these. From there, it'll join our water stream, which we already understood. We knew there was going to be a water stream to carry it into the factory. And then we will port it down to the factory that way. And that'll be all that I really need to do. There is the logistics of, okay, spawn timers become a thing. And there's part of me who, now that I've seen that one, kinda has a thought process. It's a bit of an insane one. It does make, what we're working on a much later project. But I have some ideas, effectively. And when I've got an idea like that, I feel like we can pull it off, to put it simply. So, I want you to know that I'm working on some things for it, and the factory is going to be something that once we start making it, it will effectively probably become a lot of the minutia of what's left of the series. And I know for some that's going to be, boring, whatever, but under the current circumstance, if you're watching this series, like, because you're watching it, like, you know, just through the time-lapse of everything, or not time-lapse of everything, just the, whole video series of everything, then you're probably watching this actually more because you enjoy this type of stuff. And I've kind of started to realize this, that the series has already really filtered out the people who it's not for. The people who it is for, are enjoying it. They come in, they see the cool stuff I build, they go on with their day, they have fun, and they check back in every so often and be like, oh, hey, cool, this guy is back with more stuff. It's why every so often I also like to bookmark some really major videos with the collection being in action and whatnot, you know, like, those videos have been influential to the series, in my opinion, because, well, they're huge, like, cornerstone pieces of, hey, I did a cool thing, and I'm happy that those episodes are getting watched effectively. Like, they're the ones that, like, I really care about, to be honest. And, you know, like, the peanut butter stream was hilarious, and I find it very funny that that video also became one of the ones in this series that have now become one of those ones that I just laugh and have to say, oh yeah, I did the peanut butter stream. But effectively, we're approaching the factory. We're getting there. I just need, like, a little bit more time to finalize just a few more little things effectively around the base. And then, guess what? We're gonna be there. Like, we're gonna be at the factory before you guys even really know it, to say the least. And I'm actually kind of surprised that we're approaching it so fast. It's just, like, it surprised me, to put it simply. So, I'm happy and excited by everything. I hope that you guys are as well. But yeah, let's just keep working on our stream today, because we've still got a lot to do. So cool. That is torches all set up on the underside, and sugarcane has become set up on the top side. We do still need to eventually sit through and make the lecterns and the signs for all of these, and also eventually sit through and write all the books for these. That's something I really want to do later on into the series, where we can have entire streams where I'm just spouting random nonsense of bullcrap of what's going on with a block effectively, and denote some really cool facts to you all. But, like, until that point, I'm not even gonna really care about that. So I'm very much in the boat of, right now, let's just have some freaking fun and not even worry about any of it. Oh yeah, that's right. I wanted this one to be an expansion off of that connects all the way over here. That's right. Okay. I remember now. There's the reason why I've got this set up to expand. Doot 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 doot. And yeah, so right there is gonna be that. So we do that, we go boom, 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 and I pull that over, and then we just connect this one in, basically, and that should handle all of this. I mean, I need to take this over and make sure that that don't do its stuff. Additionally, whenever we're moving on to the next layers of the collection, I really want to work cleaner. This floor of the collection to me feels way too messy. Honestly, I feel like it's a bit of a disgrace that it's set up the way it is, because it genuinely feels undeniably messy to me, and that's something I can't really be proud of, to say the least. Like, I genuinely struggle to find pride in the way that the upper half of the collection looks right now, because it looks so freaking messy to me. And that the only fault that is mine for not having learned, I guess, enough of what I needed to for this area yet. And still kind of just figuring it all out on the fly. I think for the next few layers, I've got a much better thought process in mind for this, and I'm hoping that that's going to help make it cleaner. I mean, I will admit, I thought what I had already was going to be keeping it clean, but I was clearly a bit mistaken in that thought process, because as we have seen, the upper layer is a mess, and I mainly feel like that is to do with some of the unplanned water stream stuff, actually, as I get horrible hiccups. I really should have done double water streams on the upper layer the entire way around. Like, this side has its own water stream and this side has its own water stream. I should have continued that here and here and here and here. The reason I didn't is because I thought it was going to save space. It did, technically, but at the same time it also didn't, because now we're leeching, like, for instance, those ones are leeches for this side because I didn't have enough space for, you know, stuff, and I don't like that. I genuinely think that's really bad design from me. So I hate that I'm kind of having to leech. Like, this one, I don't even know how I'm gonna really put something in here other than something along maybe the backside right there because of the way that items flow, but then I'm sitting right here, and then these items are getting leached from, and regardless, there needs to be at least, like, one item thing that goes here for that one, or this one's our elevator, so I don't even need to worry about it. I really need to take this down so that I stop thinking that that's part of that. But, like, then I also need to think about, oh, okay, you know, like, I know that this is the highest I want the collection to go, and that everything below this is going to be lower, but then, like, now we have to start thinking about the factory, and, like, there's a million pieces to this that are all starting to showcase themselves on this gigantic project we've been working on, and there's a reason why I wanted to get so much planned, and there's a reason why I feel kind of upset with the amount of planning I've done. Just because, like, I feel like I haven't done enough planning, technically. I feel like I'm working this very well, actually, for, no plans or anything kind of being the mantra of this series and kind of just rolling it as I go, doing effectively what my degree is, but, like, with fun rather than just busy work, which is kind of where I find myself in my degree path right now, is just a lot of busy work. And, like, at the same time, like, I really feel like I kind of need to sit back and maybe plan some things out better with the future of the series, but, like, I don't know. I don't really know. I kind of wish that, I could know, and I wish that some people would tell me, I guess, what they're liking about everything so far. I know that my personal stuff with the Redstone is something that is a genuine issue of mine that I'm running into because it's becoming a problem to understand what I'm wanting in my Redstone effectively in some spots. So that is, I think, genuinely something that I kind of need to work on just for the series in general, is just making sure that my Redstone helps us out better. And yeah, I do still want the factory itself to be designed by me. I don't want to make up somebody else's design, or I don't want to follow somebody else's design for it. But do note that that has become a thought process of mine that I've actually kind of thought of is, oh, what if I just, copy somebody else's design for a craft everything machine, basically, that helps you with anything. I'm not liking this right now, thank you. And yeah, I kind of have just sat in the boat of I really don't want the craft or somebody else's craft everything machine to be the machine that we use. So, hey, in good news, that means that the rest of the series, at least the Redstone part of the rest of the series, will be continuously 100% designed by me, except for farms. Farms, I'm not good at designing. I've never been good at designing farms, and there are people who are way better at the numbers in this game than I am, and while it is fun to maybe build some of those farms, I think the part of the farm making that I enjoy is more the logistics of what you can do after you've gotten the farmable materials. And that's where the factory really comes in and where it really shines, because that's effectively what the factory is. It is a logistics thing that comes from, hey, what can I make out of this? And how do I make sure that all of these items that I've already been making stay being made effectively? Like, that becomes quite literally what the factory is about. And then it just becomes a whole practice of, okay, make sure that we can still do that. Make sure we can still do that. Make sure we can still do that. It's literally going to come to a thing where for every single ore, I'm going to have a dedicated smelter, which is receiving fuel from a bamboo farm I'm going to make, or from the bamboo farm, effectively. Like, the bamboo is going to become literally the source of everything. I need to upgrade my bamboo farm eventually because of that statement. And that's, like, part of the planning that I need to work on, where I know that every ore will have its own special furnace that I need to focus on. So it then comes down to, okay, make sure that that crafting recipe receives everything it needs to and focus on it. Because that's what the factory is it'll be a digital representation, or a redstone representation of everything in this crafting book, including for everywhere else. So, yeah. What was I working on? Right. I wanted to move down here. I'm like, there was something that I wanted to do that was the reason why I came up here. I forgot why I did that. But no, like this is really where the part 1 of everything going on does really matter, because if I can make sure that we do everything correct at this stage, then it makes the factory much smoother when we're working on it, and that's really what I care about, is making sure the factory ends up smooth for us. Hang on, let's get this spot to be... This spot will be where the actual ladder is. Let's go up. I said let's go hop. There we go. Yeah, so that'll be the actual ladder spot we'll put in. The rest of these, I'm going to run kind of how we do over here and just say middle line only. Everything else is we do not care. Yeah. Yup. Cool. Excuse me. And come on. I know you can click there. I'm like, I'm clicking you there. Get there, please. Come on. But yeah, no. As we continue working our way through into the factory, I know that things are going to get very redstone heavy. And I honestly kind of look forward to that. The thing is I definitely need a redstone farm, meaning I need a witch farm, before we get there. And those are scary, especially because effectively for that to work in the way that I am thinking it is going to work, we will effectively need a secondary Great Bridge project, but like not as good, or not as epic looking as the first one was. I really need to track down through our seed maps like a what's it called, a witch hut basically, and once I've done that, we can start talking about making the rest of the chaos, for, you know, how are we gonna move all the items and stuff? How are we gonna make sure that everything comes in? Like, that stuff, once we get the witch hut, understandably, we're going to figure stuff out. It's more of just a, right now, we kind of have to take a little breather of a, okay, let's work on this one item at a time. Where is our witch hut? We'll worry about getting set up a transportation system later. I'm also kind of starting to get to the point where part of me wants to start chunk loading the base. Just because I know that that would help a little bit with item efficiency. It would help a little bit with passage efficiency. Part of me literally wants to make, since they updated how easy it is to make a chunk loader, part of me literally wants to make it so that the entire bridge is chunk loaded at one time. And just guaranteed, no fear, no qualm, I can ride the entire bridge from one point to the other and have no fear. It's become a thing that I'm kind of considering doing. I want to ask the Discord, though, and I'm also bringing it up now, kind of more as just a general, like, preliminary ask to everybody. Like, how would you feel about starting to use said chunk loaders to start loading things like the collection, the factory, the bridge? Effectively, there will be, like, I want to say something along the lines of 20 to 40 chunks that are going to be loaded because of this. And at the same time, also, we've got things like, you know, the, if we're doing nether travel, like, hey, the nether travel thing, for whatever our witch farm is, yeah, that's probably going to want, its own edition of that, which is gonna be another at least, like, 30 probably chunks that I'm loading just in a straight line of, hey, we need to kind of make sure that this stuff is getting loaded. So, like, I'm happy that they've made chunk loading easier, but, like, I know there's still a bit of a stigma around it, so I'm like, I don't know. I feel kind of at qualms with myself for it, and I'm still not personally sure whether or not I would like to chunk load the base, you know, places like that, especially when a lot of what went into the Great Bridge Project was making sure that chunks get loaded. Negating a lot of that feels kind of like a bit of a backwards thought process to me. But the reason I did it the way I did was because I didn't want to build one of the overly complex chunk loaders that are also a bit tanky on performance, effectively, because of that. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see here. We've done torches. We've done you. I could start working on cactus real quick. Cactus is not that hard of one to put in. This is also one that we need to do. I kind of want to go through and make an EXP farm. Too soon. Better than the skeleton farm. Kind of really want to more maybe leave the skeleton farm as more of a bones only type deal, but, you know, like, whatever happens with that happens with that. I'm not entirely sure. I just kind of have started to think maybe I would like a better EXP farm soon. It's something that I know I'm going to do eventually. Does not need to be done yet, by any means, so I guess don't be worried that, you know, my skeleton farm isn't going to be in use anymore, but, like, as much as I'm pretty sure nobody cares about that level of stuff, but, like, no, the whole system that we've got set up is starting to kind of come forward to me as, you know, maybe I planned a bit too much in the early game and didn't plan for much of the late game type stuff. And maybe that's something that we need to start figuring out how I want to do. Okay, good. I'm like, let me make sure that that's there. I do also need to go through and put some more lighting down in this area because, as you can hear, there are zombies that spawn in the middle of a part of the collection, and that is never a good sign. That's how we end up with dying in spots that I'm not supposed to. God damn it. As I miss the click again. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Okay. We're gonna stand on that hopper there. Are you kidding me? Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Break you. Grab you. Go boom. Break you. Break you. There we go. And then... take this over to... There we go. I could have also just used this. I actually could just quite literally build up everything that's left on this side. There we go. Yeah. But no, today was definitely meant to be more of a chore type stream. Just getting things caught up, talking with you guys, enjoying some of the stuff that, you know, was stupid that I did, that I hope you guys all enjoyed the stupidity of. And, you know, now that we've kind of done that, just keep working as has been, because I am unbelievably lucky. Woo! I didn't place a block there, and I'm glad that I got lucky and held that chest a bit tightly. Holy cow. Alright, where are you? Because I'm getting annoyed with your noises. There we go. Yep. And bop, 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 bop. There we go. Let's get some light down here, so that I'm not, you know, listening to all that consistently. Let's see here. Torch. That's fine. Those areas are kind of meant to be a little dark. And then, let's see here. We're going to be putting this here. Yeah. Let me just nerd pull a little bit. Bonk, bonk, bonk. And let's put the torch right. I don't want to put a torch on the ground. And this corner is going to be a bit of a mess when it comes to stuff. Because clearly that's the way that I should do that. You aren't going to have anything here. Let's do something that's going to be technically a bit of a rule break, but it's going to be the nice way to do the rule break. And that will be... Hang on. Do. And I'll put that there and put that there. And there we go. That is our nice way to get that in there so that this area is all lit up. Let's go. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. And boom. Boom, boom. Oh yeah, that's right. The sides of these are where, what's it called? The ladders go. So I want these spots open, kinda, but at least for here and here, I can do this, and you can go right there, and boom, boom, boom. We go boom, boom, boom. There we go. Yeah. I'm starting to feel pretty good about the things that we've got working for us. Alright, let's get our way on out of here. Now that I've actually got a legitimate entryway into this spot now. And now I don't need to worry about anything else going in there. I mean, eventually I need to start hooking up all the rest of these. I need to hook up all of this stuff. This stuff is going to be a pain. But, yeah. No, we're getting good. We're getting happy. We're receiving, or we're doing what we would like to put it simply. I am going to go through and start lighting things up because I haven't been putting torches in recently in certain spots, and I know that is becoming a bit of a problem. So I'm unhappy with the current lighting in here, so we're going to light things up, and we're going to make things better because I would like to, and that would make me happy. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Now I can finally say I think what we did in the peanut butter stream has been taken care of, handled, and made correct. I am now just waiting for these to actually grow, and then everything is correct. Oh yeah, that snow block right there kind of matters too, you know? Oops. Probably should work on that too. But no, I genuinely hope that, like, the stuff that I've been working on is interesting, to say the least, to all of you guys. So, yeah. Just, I'm hopeful that things are well and that things are liked. So, yippee. Yeah. Hope you all are enjoying it. You know, one thing I am starting to realize with our Hopper minecart thing is I don't know how well that'll work for some of these bigger collection items, and that's starting to make me worried because now I need to figure out a new way to think about that because, yeah, the Hopper minecarts, while... No, I just would need to stagger them. They all can load and unload from certain spots. I just need to stagger them. Yeah, we can figure that out. I mean, I openly stated there's probably going to need to be a fair bit of undercarriage to each of these. So, yeah. That, however, as soon as I get all of these built and filled, probably gets to start happening real soon. So, yeah, that logistics starts to become a thing that we need to start worrying about as soon as I start building some of these areas and whatnot. So, yippee! That's a new wonder to worry about, is how am I getting all of these out for some of these bigger ones? Yeah, no clue. No clue. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah. Here's me. There was words that I was going to say, and then they entirely crashed. Yeah. The words brain.exe. Oh yeah, for what was happening with all of these guys going bye-bye, they're getting entity crammed in there, effectively, and that's the real problem that's happening. So, I do need to be better about removing villagers out of there and sending them off down to the villager hall. The other thing is as we move into, what will be, you know, the start of the villager hall, I kinda, or, you know, like, the real continuation of the villager hall, and, you know, let's go down there because I need to work on it, or I want to talk about it while I want to be there while I'm talking about it. I can word. The villager tower, as it's technically being called as the project, is probably going to be something that I work on for a major part of the series. And like how the Dwarf Fortress stream is, like, every single one of the villagers in here are expected to receive a, you know, a name tag in here. However, I do need to worry about why so many of them keep despawning, as you see. Because I know that there were 2 toolsmiths that worked here that are now no longer a part of this. And I'm starting to hate the concept that I might have to legitimately room lock them, but like they keep dying, or they keep despawning, or something happens. Like, I see them all the time around here, and then they're just gone. Poof. And I know they're not able to pathfind their way up here. I know there isn't a zombie villager that's running around. I cut off their access to up here. It genuinely is starting to sadden me because I'm like, oh, this amazing cool project that we've wanted to work on, effectively every single villager has to be room locked, and I'm not going to be able to do it because villagers just keep dying. And it makes me sad because I would like to have the villagers in here doing stuff because, like, as stupid as it is, I like watching these guys all clamber on top of this. As stupid as it is, I like seeing them all mess around over here, and I like seeing them climb up all the way to here and stand here staring at the map for no reason. It's... Why is this an empty map? Why was this map just empty. What the frick? Unknown map. Did this break or something? I think that map broke, is what I'm starting to realize. Yeah, that map is broken. Great. So, yeah, I feel sad because I'm like, the Discord server, the fun part of, you know, connecting the Discord server over to this, like I'm doing with Dwarf Fortress, is probably not going to get to happen, because I'm going to lose all of the villagers if I don't keep them room locked effectively, and that is undeniably saddening to me. Like, I'm genuinely upset about it. Yeah, this map's broken. This map is broken. Womp womp. Here, you know what? I've stated that I kind of wanted to make the maps soon. Well, the funny thing is this map can sit as an item that somebody holds. How about that? Let's see. It's compasses and paper. We get to use our sugarcane farm. So we've got 3. I need what? Like, I need 6 of them, if I'm counting correctly. And I believe I am. Yeah, let's go do that, and then I'm going to end today's stream because, yeah, we've had our fun with this stuff, and, you know, I've got some other stuff I do need to take care of, sadly, as I always tend to. How do you make a map? Map. Oh, it's that. Okay, that's a lot more paper than I thought. Yeah, let's go over to the top side of this, because I know that the top side of this is where it matters. And let's go kaboom. Grab this. Bingo, bango, bongo. Can I get that? I could, if I merely went and updated some stuff. Yeah, let's go hop on upstairs real quick. Because once I'm up here, we can get that. But no, I wanted to just mention, like, we've been doing good with the world. It's more just there's a ton of tiny little things that I'm pretty sure are going to start becoming something that I need to think about consistently, that are kind of standing in our way right now. Wow. Okay, there we go. I'll just do this and go walk over, and there we go. And hop on out of here because I don't want to deal with that. Let's get you down over for there, I would say. And there we go. And yeah, let's just make sure that I've walked off the side of the map, you know, so I'm not carrying stuff over per se. Hip stop. I mean, this is one of the sides that I'm pretty sure I'm missing, to put simply. Oh no, that's right. We do have this spot, and that's right. That means we're more missing something. Well, alright, let's take this downstairs, and then I will worry about it from there. How about that? How about that? So, no, all of the maps getting done today because I don't have enough stuff, but, you know, we're getting closer, I guess is the best way to put it. But yeah, no. If we can just keep working on the things that matter for, you know, getting to the factory, we can handle the rest of this. And because of the fact that villagers keep despawning in here, I'm kind of just at the point where I'm in the statement, we're totally going to be moving all of the additional villagers that we receive into their own personal rooms. You haven't been checked in a while. Yep, I'm like, I need to walk you forward because you are different now. Okay, cool. That looks much nicer than it did, I would assume. Because, yeah, there was some stuff missing in there last time, I think. And bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, that looks much cleaner now. Much, much cleaner. And that looks more correct. Everything about this looks a bit more accurate. I mean, I guess let's go fill out this. We can go fill out this corner. Yeah, that's just a run off the side of the one spot for a while. Go grab some things. And then, yeah. We have fixed my mistakes of the wonderful, horrible mess that was the fixing the peanut butter stream that, you know, ended up going horribly because, yeah, wow. The peanut butter cursed, basically. Peanut butter cursed us or something. But no, I'm excited to get us starting working on the next real chapter of what we've got left. And we're definitely approaching that, to put it simply. So, yeah, no. Let's see here. Wow, it really is I need to, like, dive all the way over here along this edge and kind of hope and pray. Do I've got a water bucket? I do. I mistimed that. Just stay right. I'm pretty sure this is far enough, but I want to be right here. And I want to be a bit further up, further over, further over, further over. Here we go. There we go. That's looking correct. And take the jump. Now, I wish we could get witches spawning in here, because guess what? If we had a witch hut that was right by the base, I would legitimately be screaming with happiness over the fact that, oh, hey, you know, this thing that I've been, like, hoping happens legitimately would have actually happened, and it would have been great for us. Of course, I'm not so lucky. I never will be. I never have been. But we still get, you know, cool stuff out of it, and we still have one of the cooler looking biomes, you know, just right as our neighbor. So, I overall am relatively happy about it. And, you know, I was kind of hoping this would take me a little bit further than it did. There we go. And there we go. And there we go. Whoop-de-doo. Alright, now it's just time for grab and throw. Yep. Okay, there we go. There we go. I'm like, I need to focus on this, and kaboom. Oh, yeah, no. I'm very happy with this world, and I hope you guys know that I am, because, no, genuinely, getting to build this has been one of the real fun parts, or getting to be a part of this community, with you all and building this has been genuinely huge. But no, with the villager issues, these two have been part of the main reason, especially because I don't want to have to find a second mending villager, and I don't want to lose, you know, my Fletcher. There's a reason why these two have been stuck up here for so long, and why I haven't worried about transporting their rooms, or transporting them to their rooms. It's because I'm scared they're just going to despawn unless I specifically room lock them, and I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm realizing we're gonna need to room lock them, as much as that pains me, because otherwise they're despawning, and I don't know how or why, but like literally since the last time we were here, we lost 3 villagers. So, yeah. There we go. Got a lot more of the map set up. Eventually I'll get these two set up, but like, you can start to see how the base is coming for them. I'm happy. Let's go end our episode now that we've, you know, had our nice, wonderful chit-chat about things and everything and yada yada yada. Put that there. I need to get more food soon. That'll be something I worry on next time. Well, I mean, in all honesty, I do need more chests for whenever I'm building next, so I'm just gonna yoink those out of there. Teehee. But yeah, no. I hope today has been a good day for us all. I hope you all have been enjoying the streams recently, and, yeah. Whoop-dee-doo. I was hoping that I'd be up here quicker so I could go bop, 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 bop. Yeah. With that all said and done, yeah. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I don't know where I'd be without the whole little community that I've been building. And I'm glad that we get to have fun with this. And I hope you all enjoyed some of the dumb stream stuff that I've been doing recently. But yeah. Like I said, thank you all so much for watching. It's been wonderful. I hope you understand that, you know, we've been having fun. I look forward to the next steps that we're about to take. And I know the factory is coming soon. And yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there. Thank you all so much for watching again. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good one, everybody.